Welcome to another episode of the Caribbean Currency Podcast, where Caribbean culture meets financial literacy. It's your co-host Kyle, and I'm here with my co-host Redman. And today we just about to get into conversations, man. Find out about what Redman doing, find out about what I doing. Find out about the state of things, the state of the world right now, what's happening in the world, and we just gonna have a conversation, man. So, Redman, we gonna get into it.
Basically, you just want to know my business.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'll just tell the
We
people
be-
that
we
you want to
being-
know my business.
We be nosy,
Right.
you know what I
Facts.
mean?
Mhm.
I really don't care that much, but I think some I would like to know. So, like, really and truly, we're gonna just get into it, man. So, artist management,
Artist management.
that's what you are. You manage artists.
That's some of what I do.
Some of what you do.
But in the big scope, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about what inspired. Like, how did that happen? Like, how that happened for you? Like, you just wake up one day and say, I want to be an artist manager, or like, how did that happen?
I was on Facebook a lot.
Mhm.
And then in being on Facebook so much and then getting popular on Facebook, I had kind of learned how to manipulate the algorithm, what works, what didn't work. So I was really into marketing first. You know what I mean? Like for different people and different company, how to run their social medias and stuff like that. And actually when it first manifested itself, I was on a video shoot for Pressure for You. And
You ain't got that looks a little funny.
fuck you.
Okay. What are you doing?
No.
Go ahead, carry on.
I'm comfortable.
Okay. Comfortable in the skin that you are in.
Facts.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Mhm.
Did you do that again?
No, we do that again.
Okay.
Well, listen. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was on a video shoot for You, Pressure video shoot,
Uh-huh.
and Masai produced it, and
Okay.
I was kind
Masai.
of like Masai Harris, Grammy Award winning producer.
Masai Harris.
Masai Harris.
Large up yourself, Masai.
Right, large up yourself. And that set, I wasn't anything. I didn't have a role, but I just kind of like, being a gopher, making everybody comfortable and stuff like that. And naturally, you're going to do that. You know what I mean? Especially being around Pressure, you just kind of like want to make everything comfortable for him because he running point for everything, right?
Yeah.
We on the shoot because of him. We traveling because of him. Any opportunity we gain is because of him. So, I was just kind of making everything feel comfortable. And then Masai was standing up next to me and he was like, yeah, I think you should be my manager.
Just like that.
And just like that. And I was like, okay. You know what I mean? So
Not even know what
I
it
ain't know
consists
what
of.
management consists of nothing. But what I do know is like organization, staying on task. I'm not afraid to ask questions, talk to people, rely on people like Benny D and stuff like that. So, and then it make it easier because, Pressure done having a platform that you have and being around him and kind of seeing how his manager, Sean, that deal with him, you just kind of pick up on little things and you try to like mimic what they're doing and how he's handling business and everything I learned from being around him. Because basically for me, everything I tell everybody is everything I learned from somebody else.
Yeah.
I just giving you the information that was given to me. And it kind of just, start to pick up like that. And then the first artists were really like Petty God.
R.I.P. Petty God.
R.I.P. Petty God. That was the first artist I was like really like, okay, I'm going to try to develop you. So when you say artist management, it's really like artist management, artist development, life coach, because when you're managing an artist, it's not just like I collect 20% when you book a show. You can kind of like really get involved with their life, their ups, their downs, their personalities, what make them move, when they feel like giving up, when they don't feel like doing it no more.
When like life management more than
that's
artist
basically
management.
it is, like a glorified babysitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to say like there's babies or anything like that, but you really have to be able to kind of like be there for them and talk them through certain things. You know what I
Because if
mean?
they head in and again, the music gonna be affected.
Yeah, it's work ethic, really.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? All of these people are talented. All of these people have an ounce of talent inside of them. But if you ain't working hard, so you gotta be that person to kind of like keep them on task. Like this is due. Because when you being an art, when you developing and you artist management, what you really trying to do is not have them deal with any other technicalities, so they could focus on their talent. Right? Because if they have to focus on their talent, now some people could do it. Some people could deal with all the technicalities. Like Todd is one of those people that could deal with all the technicalities and be talented. Some people, once they start to deal with the technicalities, they don't feel motivated to make music or do things, right? They're fatigued, they're mentally fatigued. Right, they drain. So you come and try to like ease that burden and use, and so then now me being who I is already just from being popular and having like my contacts and my connections and quote unquote clout, it's easy for me to say, okay, I'm putting you in this space, so I'm gonna connect you with this person. But that comes with a caveat too. If I come and I connect you with Tehran and you ain't work shit or you ain't have no work ethic, then that closes the door for me to bring anybody else to Tehran. So a person might feel like I'm the gatekeeper, but I'm not. I have to protect this asset that I have, this opportunity that I have with a Pressure, a Voice, a Tehran, or whoever, even the smaller artists, right? I gotta make sure that you're who you say you is and doing what you say you're going to do before I even bring you to somebody to say, hey, you should give them a shot or you should do this feature or, you know what I mean? And the strength of me, at the very least, you should.
All you could do is usher them in the door.
Right, but
when they get in there.
when you get in the door, I'm banking that you do what you're supposed to do. So before I even do that, I have to spend time with you, see how you that work, see how you that, handle your business, if you're emotionally stable, if you could deal with rejection, because you might think you deserve something from Tehran or Pressure just because you're from the VI and they're supposed to give you a shot. But you gotta remember, these dudes still working on their career at the same time. So to associate with you musically is not helping them.
It's not benefiting them.
At all. You know what I mean? So they got to take time out from doing what they're doing and they get bills. One thing I learned from being around the bigger artists is like their bills is not our bills. They have bigger bills. Okay? So when they say that they're busy and you can't get in contact with them, it's because your bills might be $5,000 a month, their bills is like $15,000 a month. And you can't pay $15,000 a month if you ain't consistently working and being busy and being in the places you're supposed to be. So if you have time on your hands, it's because you ain't working.
Exactly.
They don't have time on their hand because they're working all the time. Like it's hard to get in contact with them. So that's how I basically got into it. Masai really was like the first person to really ask me to manage him. And then at that point in time, I had like this little small company called Red Light District. It was really marketing, me at Inika and Danny and a couple other girls are really kind of like a formulated, And then when after Masai come to me, Mike Love had come to June, right? About us, June, my business partner, June, right? He's a promoter, like that's what he was known for. So then June was like, came to me and was like, look, I ain't gonna do this thing if you ain't going to with me. So that's how we get gang light management, right? Because I had Red Light District and he have Rebel Gang Movement. And how we do, I take the gang and the light and we combine the two. And I say we advanced pretty quick. You know what I mean? We do a lot of good things. We learn a lot. And the fly, credit to the people that we have around us. Gang light management is technically a subsidiary of Pressure Bus Pipe Records.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if he don't give us the strength and like the stamp to say that, you could do this, because we basically June the road managed for Pressure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if he ain't giving us the guidance and telling us, like, I will call him and be like, yo, this is a situation here with our contract, this is this. And if we don't have his backative, we don't get to like advance and come off the ground. You know what I mean? So he was really like instrumental. So a large amount of the credit that go to him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even think Gang Light had started when we went Jamaica. And in Jamaica, we were just, I remember I'd be mad with Pressure so much because sometimes you could see opportunities and potential for people that they might not see. And sometimes they might have reasons why they don't go down the road that you yourself might not see either.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because they have the relationships with certain people that you don't have. You just looking at it from a like a technical standpoint, like X's and O's.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I learned from him too. Why I say relationships is always important and the most important thing for me. Because you might know how to do something X's and O's, but from a relationship perspective, it might not even work, even if it's working right on paper. You know what I mean? So I remember I was so mad with him. I was like, man, we have this opportunity that if you work with this specific artist, you gonna just open the door for the rest of us. You know what I mean? And it didn't happen.
Okay.
And I just remember calling his sister and I was like, cause we cousins, right? At the end of the day, we cousins and we like brothers and sisters, even though we cousins. You know how we grow, all of us grow.
Definitely.
So I call her and I was like, Sonii, man, this brother's good. He ain't listening to me. I know the play. Like I know the play. But needless to say, even though the play didn't went the way I wanted it to, come full circle because of pressure and his association with gang and Kabaka Pyramid is how Masai were able to even have a semblance of a relationship, to even be in a room, to contribute to a Grammy album, for us to be now Grammy award-winning producer. You know what I mean?
So you manage a Grammy award-winning producer.
Yeah, luckily. That's luck. You know what I mean?
I just fall in your lap really and truly, because you on the shoot and he was like, yo, I want you manage me.
Right.
I
ain't going to discredit the stuff that the relationship that we have, because there's been times when I wanted to quit and my side would be like, what are you doing? Like, we got a mission. Yeah. There's been times when, because it's a very unforgiving business, you know. You have to plant a lot of seeds and hope that it grow to recoup. It's not, you're not going to make money every day. It's not like everyday cash flow. You know what I mean? You might produce a song this year and won't see residuals from it till next year or the year after. You know what I mean?
If you even see residuals.
If you even, and the residuals you might see might be small. Yeah. So we just planting seeds and trying to create opportunities for ourselves. Even when we win the Grammy, we still ain't, we ain't make it.
Yeah, we ain't sitting down.
All the Grammy do is say, we just gotta keep working hard. Yeah. Like this is the possibilities. Yeah. You know what I mean? So working with him and just being in his head mentally and emotionally and going through the ups and downs, because we went through so much peaks and valleys. Yeah. So many different things happen within the industry and relationships that we feel like certain people are blocking us, or we feel like, you know what I mean? But we still have to lean on each other and tell each other like, yo, let me just control what we could control. Yeah. If we believe in this dream, if we believe in our talent, if we believe in the things that we say we believe in, hard work will always pay off. Like, I remember the year before last, matter of fact, the beginning of this year, he called me and he was like, yo, we got to do 100 songs this year. That was the mission. So we working, right? We ain't counting, but we end up with a Grammy. You know what I mean? But I come off of his energy. Yeah. We gotta do 100 songs this year. Whether they big or small,
you know, throw a bunch of stuff at the wall.
We just gotta throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and something gotta happen. And we never thought Grammy in our mind. That was never in our mind. In our mind was make a bunch of songs, one of them hit, we blow big, or we got placement. You know what I mean? But even through all of that work, end up linking up with Vaughn Simmons. Are we saying linking up like we don't know each other? Yeah. Because all of us that be in the same circle, but we don't necessarily always work with each other.
Together. Linking up professionally and linking up socially is two different things.
We're friends socially for years. Exactly. Professionally is different. Yeah. That's the beauty of it, though. You know what I mean? You still have to maintain both relationships professionally.
And that's the job of our manager.
Right.
Make sure,
you know what I mean?
Our personal relationship don't spill over into the business.
Right.
And keeping that separate with it and still maintaining the integrity of both relationships, right?
Right. So like just try and get in different rooms and finding a place in different rooms. End up with Voss, which was a beautiful opportunity, is a beautiful opportunity because bring a different perspective to the music, a different energy. Not taken away from anybody else. We still working with everybody else the same. It's just now Voss fresh, you know what I mean? The environment dope, you know what I mean? He really proactive and empowering. Voss will empower you, you know what I mean? Cause I'll be like, yeah, man, I think we should go get Coil Ray on this song, or we should go get this person on this song. You're like, okay, we'll do it. But you kind of really waiting for him to like, yeah, we should do that, and then he go do it. Yeah. But he like, no, you come up with the idea, you know, so go make it happen. Yeah. And then if you run into a snag and you might need him to use his name, then you can.
Yeah.
But he want you to go have the confidence to go. The same way he have confidence of making music, he want you to have the confidence of go make some shit happen. You know what I mean?
And that's where you would come in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, but you learn management skills from him too. Because it's not just managing people, it's managing business. You know what I mean? Managing relationships, managing situations. You know what I'm saying? And then doing it with June is a joy because we're the same, but we opposite, right? I'm more aggressive in business. You know what I mean? I cut throat. He more tempered, more laid back. He'll take his time. Me, if you ruin a relationship with me or you do something wrong, it's like, we done. I go move on. June get some time. You know what I mean? So he'd bring that balance. Even when we on the phone, we'd do negotiations together. Like we'd do when we doing our business meetings with anybody, whether it be Via, Liberty, whoever. You know what I mean? Pueblo, whoever. We'd do the business cards together and we'd kind of like play off each other. You know what I mean? So he was
good cop, bad cop.
I don't want to say good cop, but it's our both of us is good cops. You know what I mean? But he have his strengths and I have my strengths. You know what I mean? And it's like a wrestler. You know what I mean? He'll tap me in. And I'll jump in the ring and then I'll do the talking. You know what I mean? And then after the conversation done on the phone, then we'll sit back and discuss what we could have do better or what we miss or damn, we should, you know what I'm saying? So it's a joy working with him. You know what I mean? Like it happened flawless. You know what I mean? So, and then he ended up being like, you know, my best friend at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because just through the walks and just learning each other. We didn't fall out all the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I see how you're wrong each other. I be like, I know they'll again each other. No.
Yeah,
you don't get my note.
Facts.
And you don't be wrong here a lot.
Right.
So I be like,
no, we don't.
He again.
No. Okay. Not could be overbearing.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because I want what I want. And I want it like no. You know what I mean? And I don't see why I have to wait to get. So sometimes I feel like the people that are around me, like, how holding me back? Like, what are they? You know what I mean? Like, you playing with these people. I don't want to play with these people. They don't want to do business. They don't want to do business. I take our business. I'm so confident in what we do that I don't really want nobody. In year 1, I was humble. In year 2, I was humble. In year 3, after I don't prove myself, after I don't do business, I get over $100,000 in compensations for all my artists. And you know what I mean, not knowing anything in this business at all and being small and local, I don't prove to you what I could do. You know what I mean? And then I is my own entity by myself. I don't want nobody marginalizing what I do or downplaying what we do. You know what I mean? We do good business. That's our motto, is good business. At the end of the day, we just want to do good business. So I don't want nobody smart changing me. Them man might take it like, okay, well, you know, let's just play the game. Me, like, no, get from me. You know what I mean? So,
but sometimes it could be valid, and I'm sure June probably bring this to you, where you might see that somebody smart changing you, even if they are. Sometimes if you, for the greater good and for the vision that you guys have, the long-term vision, it might be a better play to say, you know what? We ain't doing this here because we want the money, but we doing this here so my artist could get the exposure that he needs so that we could get a bigger bag.
So that's one of my cards in my playbook, right? We do that there a lot. I've told many artists, there's artists right now that going pay $3,000-$5,000 a show, and sometimes they'll still do free shows, you know, because you're trying to build a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, I could see when I go and take some small change, but when I already do business with you already, and then you still coming back to small change me after I already show you my work and my capabilities, I'll cut you off. You know what I mean? Like you gonna give me $10,000 for something today, and then tomorrow come back and try $2,500. You know what I mean? I don't want a relationship no more. You don't value it. You know what I mean? Because you already see everything we do is professional. From the parties is professional, the contract is professional, how we deal with the artist is professional, how we promote the artist is professional. We try to deal with it on a professional level. If you want to deal with it on an ignorant level, I get to step up. That's my part. You know what I mean? So most of the time when it comes to like I'll develop a relationship with somebody and then I will just hand them off to Junior.
Yeah.
Like after I don't make contact
Yeah.
and I don't like speak enough, I'll be like, okay, no, you could deal with Junior.
June bring it home.
Because if eventually if he say anything crazy, I'm going to end this relationship.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I know my weakness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
once I know I don't connect the dot, I'll be like, okay, Junior, connect this dot, you know, bro. So I'm going to introduce these people to you, and then you
it's
take
like
it from you take it from him. You know what I mean? Because he's smooth with it. You know what I mean? Really professional with it.
That's dope. That's dope. So in your journey from the time you want to video shoot, you link with Masai. Masai say, listen, dog, I need you. Right? Now, how much years in total you think you've been doing this artist management?
I don't know. I think we like 3-4 years, and I lost
count
count
officially. I'm pretty sure you've been wrong sorting man that's artists.
No.
And giving them on some type of guidance.
Of course. But again, look, I grew up in the shadow of my father, his brothers, and my older cousins, especially Pressure. While long, especially in my family, you got to recognize who is who in certain spaces. When you go on the basketball court, Uncle Pee Wee's the man. You can't come on the basketball court and then want to be the man when you know he's the man.
Yeah.
So when you come around Pressure, you know he's the man. So I know in certain spaces, I's the man.
Yeah.
But just because I's the man in a certain space, I ain't gonna come in his space
and assume
and try to be the man. What I gonna do is I'm gonna be supportive. Whatever you need me to carry the bags. You need me to go in and make sure everything's safe before we go inside. You need me to go get a weed. You need me to roll the joints because you focusing on getting ready to perform. All of that is part of being like when you're a helper, artist management, you're there to help. So if you're not cool with being a helper, then you don't need to be doing this. If it's not innate inside of you to help foster somebody else growth, then you're in the wrong business. In my opinion, you know what I mean? So I've been doing it. And funny thing is, I've been around my cousin forever, a little boy, right? I always tagging behind of him as much as I can. You know how it is when you're young. It don't matter if he's 1, 2, or 3 years older than you. That's because I follow him because, right? It had a gap in our life where I wasn't coming around. Because my life wasn't straight. So I never come around him because my life wasn't straight. When my life become to get straight was when I came to that video shoot. That's when it clicked inside of me. Like, I know my place around my cousin now. Like, I know who I supposed to be when I are around him. You know what I mean? And that helped me develop that helpful skill of assisting people to achieve. You know what I mean? He'll sit down in our living room and be like, yo, who's the engineer? You know what I mean? And I'll just call somebody and be like, yo, we need an engineer for the day. Or I'll just get up and be like, you want to record today? You know what I mean? Just because at the end of the day, we walking in parties because of him. You know what I mean? We gain recognition.
I think I walk in a couple of my parties. Of
course.
Fresh shot. Listen, I used to promote, right? And I remember I'll never forget. Tito Dub would attest to this. My dog. We were trying a show called Homegrown Show. It was me. It was Benny, Pressure, Vos Simmons, Rock City, Don Crown Bay in St. Thomas. And they must say, yo, Pressure come. So we open in the side gate for it. Boy, Pressure come with like 30 people. I said, Pressure, who are these people is? They with me.
Let me tell you something.
Boy, listen, it's like what, $45 a ticket, you know? You do them at 45 times 30. That's how much people is Moroscan. My partner Pressure bring up in my thing, and I had to that's Pressure as a big homie. Why was it? No, right. She can't come in.
When he love you, he love you.
And Pressure knows our love. He knows our love.
You gonna come with him.
Exactly.
He gonna bring you with him. So
and once he love you, you can't say, nah, Pressure, that ain't happen.
You know what I mean? So exactly, right? Because he gonna do one thing. He gonna do for you.
Exactly.
Especially with it, even sometimes when it don't benefit him and it might set him back, he gonna do it.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So when you see him come to the door with 50 people, you just got to be like,
yeah. That's what I do. All right, daps him up and just watch, smile and I tell you just drop as all these people going in my event.
Yeah, but biggest thing, a lot of things that how I deal come from him. And in his music, he gives messages that people just take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show love, and in return, you receive the same.
Because if I fast forward, I had a stint where I was doing I had a sunglasses line.
Right.
Right? and they had this dope idea, gonna get these sunglasses lying out, and da 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 da, and they gonna get all the dope artists them to do a video in my glasses, a picture in my glasses, and promote it. First man I call with pressure. Pressure say, send the photographer. I say, how much? I say, what the fuck you asking me? Send the photographer and tell me when. So I go get make sure my locks do up. And just so I send the photographer, pressure with it with a man from however land, the photographer say, turn this way, turn that way, turn that way. I turn my boy turned into a model for me to help me push my brand. So that's how it goes full circle.
Yeah,
I
full
could have sit
circle.
on there and feel some type of way because he bring 30, 40 people
Right.
into my thing. But then when I had another business years later, that same man, I could have called him and say, hey, bro, you would do this here for me? And he said, without question.
Right.
You check. So pressure large up yourself. Bro.
Fact. So a lot of that energy I get from him, how to move and carry myself in the business. You know what I mean? And me perfect. I ain't do everything in the business right. I ain't get everything right. I ain't deal with every artist exactly the same. You have moments when I could have been a little bit more tempered and I was too aggressive.
Patient.
And the thing is for me is like, especially with like my impatience, all is like, yo, I used to work a job making $35 an hour driving trucks. You know what I mean? My side literally tell me was like, listen, we ain't gonna get no place if you living in Philadelphia and you in Atlanta in the mix. So I leave that job, right, to come struggle in this business. So if I dealing with you and you working hard enough, I gonna get frustrated. I can't eat unless you start eating. So if I develop in you and I try and get you to the place where you could become viable and make money and you skylarking, then I got to think about the times I missing child support. I got to think about the times when I can't pay the rent because money ain't flowing in. I can only eat when you booking shows. I can only eat when somebody called to sign a deal, but you playing around. Yeah, I'm going to lose it.
Of course.
June ain't going to lose it though. You know what June going to lose it? To me on the phone. Right? And I'd be on the phone like, fuck you telling me for?
Exactly.
Go tell he. You know what I mean? Cause I gonna fucking tell he. Yeah. Jack, and he be like, no. Because for him, he don't want nobody to go out there and talk ill of us. Even though I might feel justified. If you want to go on the internet and talk about me, be my guest. I will come on the internet too. My platform larger than your platform 9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
And I gonna go wild with it. So if you want to have that fight with me on the internet, but for June, it's like, nah, like just, you know, whatever them I say, our work going to speak for itself. You know what I mean? So, look, one time, the police department, I wanted to like, give me some money to represent them and do some things for them, you know. I pass it off to the artist. The first thing in my mind was like, yo, listen here, they were like, Rare man, we want to give you XYZ amount of money. We want you to do this thing here for us and kind of like put us on a map and put us in a good light, which I think they deserve. You know what I mean? Because VIP did a get a bad rap for a lot of things that ain't their fault. The society broken. There's a last line of defense to fix it. You would blame PD. So I had done like, okay, cool. I find I got a lot of friends on the police department, family in the police department, in law enforcement and stuff. That's why like, dope. We had an artist at the time, and I was like, I called back, and I was like, listen, I have a better play. I have this song. We're going to use this song, and we give the artist the money, and we take 20%, something that I could have got 100% of. But I want to be a manager and create opportunity for people so bad, I pass up
100%
the full 25,000 and take 20% of 25,000. Just the other day, I tell Junior, like, listen, I mean, I'm back for nobody, you know. Take my
You
metrics.
should have called me. I would tell you don't do that shit.
I know what you'd have said. You know what I mean? But
I would have tell him, no.
But see, but that it goes back to smart changing yourself for a bigger picture. You know what I mean? So if I had do that back then, I might not have been with Payes now. With the influence I have now. So now I get like the little artists that would developing around me now. I'm more seasoned. I'm more understand the business more. So an artist who enjoying my company now, like Quan 2 times, it's easier for him with me than it is for the earlier artists than when I didn't know what I was doing and I was learning and asking questions and trying to figure out the best way forward. You know what I mean?
You ever run into a situation where, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but a space where that you put in the work, but the artist ain't doing his part. How do you terminate that professional relationship? Like, how do you go about it? Like how do you have that conversation with an artist to be like this ain't working out without them? In this society we live in, everybody have that ego problem where if I end a relationship with you professionally, it's vibes forever. You check. So how do you keep that from happening in a space where these artists don't go wrong and say Red Man this and Red Man that and June this and June?
So for me, I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
Because I have more good works done that when you go start to run your mouth about me, you're gonna look weird.
Yeah.
Like you weird, cause no.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely ain't do. I had one artist, man. I get booked for a show to host a show, you know. And I'm managing the artist, and I tell the promoter, listen, I will take the booking to host the show if you book my artist. So I get you booked. And then you come without your hard drive and your thumb drive and like you ain't ready for. So I cut him off. Like that was all in all the days. If June was there, that never happened.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there. This was a red light district. Like me, I was marketing, but in the same time, when you the level of marketing I was doing, I was basically managing. But it wasn't like technically he manager. You know what I'm saying? So I end up cutting the artist off. I still cool with the artist to this day. I have no idea what story the artist tell, and I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like I was one of them people that don't. You know what I care about? Like when my cousin called me and tell me I'm screwing up, it's Sonii link me and say you're going about this wrong. That'll bother me. If you call me and tell me I'm doing something wrong, that'll bother me. You know what I mean? People who I love telling me I'm doing something wrong is what I really eat at me. Sonii?
Yeah, and Sony's here.
Sonii, yeah.
Shout out
Sorry.
Sonii.
Shout out Sonii.
I don't see her, but I go
camera,
hear
but
her.
you're gonna hear her.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
during the Caribbean Currency podcast. But yeah, I mean, Dwayne and I have always had a relationship. But one of the things, like, I really commend, with you, because, like, I always tell people, you're so brilliant. You think ahead, you look ahead, like, you always plan. And when you plan, you have, like, these really, great ideas, and you don't stop until you see it in motion. And the minute you ready to quit, and you pick up that phone and you call me, no matter what a day it is, like him and I, like we'll be going at it, like Dwayne, like what is wrong? Like you can't give up. Like you have to stick with it. You have to, push yourself. But one of the things that I really want to commend, you and Gang Light Management, Red Light District, what what you have going on is how you have taken, how you guys have taken the music from, this small island, these 3 islands of Virgin Islands, and is like, transitioning these artists and these music to be so, professional and to be seen, like, worldwide. Like to me, that is insane, and I really have to commend, you and June for the steps and the work that you guys have put into it.
Yeah.
Because you're like working with you as your cousin, you disgusting bad. Bad. But working with you professionally is like it's straight, professionalism, and you gonna always get something, in return, working with you and June, whether it's something you learning, going somewhere, with you guys. But yeah, that's what I really commend. And even like seeing the struggle with, the art, because being an artist is hard, and you could probably talk about this some more.
Right. Yeah. Being an artist is very difficult.
And Sonii speaking from a place of experience, because if you don't know, Sonii is
Precious
Precious sister.
Right.
So Sonii witnessed a lot of pressure, struggles.
Not a lot. She witnessed everything.
Early, the early and the late struggles.
Like all of it.
She can tell you,
That's basically his first manager.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If not, the silent manager.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but being an artist is very difficult, man, because like I say, it's unforgiving. Only so you could make monies from residuals and shows, unless you sign a contract. So when you're being independent and you're trying to develop yourself to a point where you want people to love your music, especially when you have a family and you have kids and you ain't working a 9 to 5, but you got put, and especially when you're a man, even a woman too, you got to put food on the table, and none of this stuff here right there ain't guaranteed. You know what I mean? It's rough. It mentally, in your mind, you don't know what anybody going through. You know what I mean? It could become depressive. And then they go out there and you don't know that they're depressed because they have to perform upon that face and that smile and and be cool and like, you know, like they gotta be that
Behind the
person
scene too.
behind the scene. Daps and
That's what
hug
up.
everybody when inside is like, how the hell I gonna pay this rent? The man
Yeah,
because
yeah.
me do couple shows and like in a month,
And you know
son.
what's
You know what I mean?
crazy? Like to see a art, and I know a lot of artists go through this where they pop in online, they pop in on the internet, they're popular. Nobody don't pass them no place. They everybody know them, but they're struggling. They ain't seen the bookings. They ain't gain these type of the money that everybody else think they gain. So it's in a place where it's like, man, everybody know me, but I still broke. But then I still have to be on the scene, so me ain't broke no more. And then they're so recognized, they feel like I can't go walk Home Depot. How the fuck I gonna walk
Yeah, how
Home
gonna walk
Depot
Home Depot?
and I is such and such of an artist. So they just gotta sit on there and dedicate themselves to this life, this dream, this goal that they have, and
Right.
just drive it until something stick, man. So
Right.
that takes a lot of
And you know that it manifests itself during a pandemic and recession.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because during the pandemic and recession, ain't nothing going on. I remember me and June had to scramble as managers to find opportunities so the government could pay people to do online shows because the artists them ain't performing. They can't do nothing.
So it was just virtual.
You know what I mean?
I remember that time.
Right.
That's
So
rough,
like,
man. That's rough.
yo, just imagine, like you say, I tell people all the time, don't ask me to get a job. I'm not getting a job. I ain't working again. I don't care. I gotta sleep on the street first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just imagine an artist that been so good for so long, and then the pandemic hit.
Happened.
No money rolling in.
Yeah.
You gotta file for all of these artist programs to have relief on your house. And just these different things. You still got to feed your kids. You can't go tell pressure go work Publix.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That just don't look right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just imagine the mental stress on their mind. Then when they're stressing, I stressing.
Exactly. Right.
Because my job is to create opportunities for you.
Uh-huh.
So if I can't create opportunities for you, then why am I here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the pandemic and recessions and stuff like that, they were extremely tough.
And it's crazy because I have a few artists, a few entertainers, in different levels of entertainment, and all this story. Okay, so what I do, I have a credit repair business. If you guys didn't know, I repair folks' credit, help them fix the credit, clean it up, and listen to whatever goals they have, and take them to the bag so they could get funding to fund themselves and their new businesses or whatever it is they're trying to do. So now I get a lot of artists that reach out to me and the story so similar. It's like, yo, 2020 hit. I was about to take off. I had just write this song. This song was hitting. I was booked for about 17 shows from January 2020. I was booked for about 17 shows already. March come, everything shut up.
Bro, Rebel with a Cause is the greatest reggae album.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I ain't capping. Like, I ain't saying this at just cause. I'm telling you, like, I will just go listen to it right now.
Listen to it, I know.
It's the greatest reggae album that I've ever listened to. Me, I love reggae. You know, we grew up on reggae. I love reggae music. Not dance, reggae music. Right? And we were going on tour to Europe. Like, we were so excited. We were like, we can't. This is it. We out of here. Like, they can't stop us now. We just come back from Jamaica. We on a high, this album. Like, we gone. This is it. It's done. Pandemic hit. Our tours canceled. People don't even remember Rebel with a Cause. Like that. If you're not deep pressure fan. You know what I mean? But that album was the album that, like, to this day, that hot. Like, it'll be like, damn, like, I wish we could, like, re-release it.
I know.
I wish the world could, like, really come and appreciate this album. And we end up doing something, right, Sonii? Like, we end up doing, like, something in the basement. Remember, we were doing the band with Jaddy them?
Yeah,
remember we were doing that recording, the online thing? Like, that
it was like a virtual show.
Yeah, we ended up doing a virtual show that was like, whatever, man. Like, this don't even do the album justice, but to keep the lights on. But that it crush us. You know what I mean? So I ain't do the album. He do the album. The producers do the album. So imagine how he feel. No,
Yeah.
I feeling it, you know.
Mhm.
Like, wow, we miss an opportunity to go on tour and
yeah.
be in Brussels and all
Mhm.
these other places.
Places.
You have a European tour and you have a Africa tour and you have a
Jesus.
North. This is a big album.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you got a tour on 3 continents.
Yeah.
This is a big album.
That's a big deal.
This ain't no little
Yeah.
And
regular
the
thing.
time,
Yeah.
the time, the energy, everything that it takes into making like one song yet an album.
Right.
Like making a song ain't just going into the studio like, oh yeah, let me drop this song and send it to the radio station
Right.
and they're gonna play it and it's gonna be a hit. Nah, it takes time, like hours, days, weeks, months to get, your stuff recorded.
So being an independent artist that he was and is, because remember now, he in Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he done bust in the market, in the Jamaican market. And listen, B, I know him, you know him, Sonii know him. I know him. I didn't know how big he was until I went to Jamaica with him. Like, I didn't know how big he was until when you see other Jamaican artists that you feel that is big, that are seen and blush and receive him and talk about his skill set.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, you big.
He's a big deal for real.
He's a big deal for real.
Fucking lying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know that tour was supposed to be like my next level coming up party. Like I thought I forget about pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the pandemic hit. But the man, he that deal with so much things in silence, right? One thing he and I started to pick up and learn is that even when he going through something, he never really going to show it.
Yeah.
Because he don't want anybody else to around him to feel low.
Yeah.
You know?
Because his energy gonna rub out.
But that's a lot of burden to carry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's unfair to him too.
Yeah.
You know? And you know what's so beautiful about this show, the Caribbean Currency Podcast, because in a situation where these men is artists and their job is to focus on art, your job is to get them the bookings, whatever it is, to bring in our revenue.
Right.
So they could continue to focus on the art.
Right.
But when the revenue get taken away,
right,
because of the pandemic and everything stopped, the world stopped. We never see the world stop before.
Never. Not in our
I
lifetime.
see a recession, before it. But I never see the world stop. Planes park up on the airport.
Right.
Manhattan not moving. Not even the rats were moving in New York, my boy.
Telling you.
It was crazy. So in a situation like that, where everything stopped, what we had to do, we had to pivot. Okay, so we can't go there to perform. So what are we gonna do? Get some kind of virtual performance. Okay, then we figure that out. So you had to sit on there and be like, yo, them live performance gone. They gone.
Right.
So what we gonna do? We gonna cry? Or we gonna say, how about we do a virtual performance? How about you book my artist, even though it ain't why would I get for a live performance, it's something to hold us over till we get through this mess.
And then too, and that's so tricky, right? Because what I have to do is I have to say, okay, Mike Love is a great artist, right? And people want to see Mike Love. Then I got to go
Mike Love is one of your artists.
One of the artists that I manage, right? So then I got to go and convince the sponsors that it's beneficial for them to give us money to do this online show so people could see it for free.
Yeah.
That's the only way, because nobody paying money to see this. So we have to get money from the sponsors to you know what I mean? So you have to get creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
have to convince somebody to give you money.
And I take in low money because the pandemic ain't gonna last forever. And I got to maintain this relationship. So that when I circle back outside the pandemic to get more money, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah. So that's dope. And like I say, it shows a level of perseverance. It shows a level of resilience. Whereas this is how we've known. And then also it teaches us that nothing ain't forever.
Yeah, nothing ain't forever.
Nothing ain't forever, because if we in January and I cooling out and I laying back because I get 17 bookings, we were in a time when that shit went away like that. It got taken away from us. So now that's gonna help you now to understand that such and such say they're gonna do such and such, but we're not banking on that until that actually happens. You know what I mean? We're not making plans in anticipation of that. You know what I mean? We're gonna go out there and continue to do the work. What I'm trying to say is we're not gonna sit on here and get comfortable because we get a few bookings.
Right.
We're gonna grind and try to make it Whereas, this whatever happened in a pandemic, don't happen again.
Yo, and why learn about perseverance too? I learn a lot from the artists, them, Even though when they learn it from me, I learn a lot from them. One of the most gifted artists in the Virgin Islands that is relatively unknown, he's known in certain sectors, is Priceless.
Okay.
Right? Otatatola, I manage Priceless. And when I tell you, like, the dude could do Afrobeats, the dude could do rap, he could sing, like, he just gifted like that, right? I sent you some of his music before, right?
Tough.
And he in the BVI and I in the United States. So that's difficult managing from so far away. And then trying to find him opportunities. And then when the opportunities them that ain't coming. Cause one thing with an artist, right? You could be this talented and a person could be this talented, but the person who less talented than you getting more opportunities than you, and you sitting on there wondering like, how this person here getting all this love versus me who clearly is more talented than them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got to sit down on the phone with him and explain to him how marketing and work. You know what I mean? So like,
and then let's look at something else too. So you have artists that you working with, right? And then the recession, came on. Like this pandemic came about, kind of put everything to a halt, right?
Right.
How you rebound from that, right? How you work on changing the course of your artist financially, right? How do you move up and on from what we just went through? Because everything's starting to open back up,
Right.
islands and cities starting to bring carnival back in, right? But your artists that you were managing before the pandemic, are they still relevant? Let's talk about rebounding from that and how we could now help those artists generate more income.
Right.
Like, where's the opportunity there now?
So the opportunity actually happened during the pandemic, because my message to every artist I dealt with was, you got to outwork everybody in the pandemic, because when you come out of the pandemic, your name have to ring bells. You know what I mean? Especially if you're one of them artists that relatively unknown or just on the fringe. You know what I mean? But as soon as first of all, the price gone up. After the pandemic, the price gone up.
And everybody outside.
The price gone up. Because we know everybody outside. Yeah. We know you're going to eat our food, and we may eating for a long time.
We owe back pay.
You owe back pay. The price gone up. Yeah. But staying relevant during like your online presence. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's difficult for a lot of artists. One of the best artists that I know, there's 2 artists to me out of the Virgin Islands, 3 that are superb when it comes to online presence. Peanut, Adamu, and third.
Adamu is a beast for you.
Adamu is a beast.
Adam Treeman is a beast, but
okay, but Adamu is a beast. You know what I'm saying? So big up Adamu.
And Peanut.
And Peanut and Todd, right? Them man that consistently use the tool of the internet to maintain relevancy. Yeah. So success is when preparation meets opportunity. You know what I mean? So them man were preparing, so when the opportunity come, they could be successful. Everybody else who was sitting on their hands, who might feel like they're better than them, you're not better than them. Yeah. Because I tell artists this all the time, making music doesn't make you an artist. You know what I mean? That's just a skill that you have. Being an artist is being able to put all the tools that you need to put yourself out there on a certain level together. So if you could sing really well, but you can't manipulate social media really well, you're not an artist. Yeah. You haven't arrived yet. You have to be able to put all of them together. You know what I'm saying? So them 3 dudes to me is the epitome of what an artist should be. I feel like everybody should kind of and when we talk in that sense, don't count the big 4. Timothy, Tehran, Pressure, and Voss. Right? They done already.
They done gone.
They gone. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everybody else under them should look to Adamu, Peanut, and Todd as to how you work.
Relevant. Because
that's still relevant.
When you're always ready, you don't have to get ready.
When you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. Exactly. And just because Adamu might bust this way, don't mean you're going to bust that way. Yeah. But that don't mean don't do what he's doing. Yeah. Me saying to be him, I'm saying to see how consistent he is.
Yeah.
I ain't saying you gotta go live every day like Peanut, but if Peanut sang garbage to you when he put it out today, by the end of the week, you're gonna be singing that shit, you know? Because he's so consistent in line, you know that this song out, that you ain't got no choice but to sing this
You
do
catch
re mi
yourself,
catchy shit.
Yeah.
And now you're wondering how it is I so lyrical and he ain't so lyrical, but he popping. Yeah, you lyrical, but you ain't letting
present.
us know that you lyrical.
It takes me back to that girl that went viral, little white girl that had that stupid sign, period, period.
Yeah,
When I heard that, right, I was so disgusted.
right.
But by the end of the day, I
Yeah.
taking a shower thinking about my day and
Like,
period, period. I was like,
right. Why you singing?
why you singing this?
Yeah, but
So
that's
what you're saying
human.
is
That's
true.
human nature. You
That's
learn
right.
to walk by watching somebody else walk. You learn to talk
Repetition.
by hearing somebody else talk. By repetition. So if you understand how humans are work, then the easiest thing to do is keep repeating yourself, and they're gonna eventually, catch on to it.
Exactly.
And be redundant.
Exactly.
You know
So
what I mean?
you have, what are your requirements when it comes to artists that say, you know what, Ray, man, I want to work with you? What do you require from your artists?
I meet this one young artist in rap when I went home a couple weeks ago named Mula Cash. And I was sitting outside of the Narrows. The first thing he do was come up to me, right? And I praise him for that. Because some people feel like they can't. No, if you really want it and you feel like somebody have the answer, then go ask them. I learned that from Benny. Don't keep your mouth shut. Go and ask.
Yeah.
All you could get is a no or whatever.
Yeah.
The second thing he do is, the next thing I tell him, so I praise him for that. The next thing I tell him was, I don't care how talented you is. I just need you to work hard. They have somebody who that play basketball that's more talented than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, but they don't work harder than them.
You ain't gonna outwork them.
So as long as you don't outwork them, you will never be better than them.
Exactly.
So what I want to see from an artist, and I get this other one named Quan. I get two Quans. I got Quan 2 times, and I got Jacan Kwati. Quan 2 times is a rapper who pressure steal from me, by the way. You know what I mean? Because he used to come around, and I used to tell pressure time, you gonna like this man vibing. He's so young, but he could hang with older people. Like, he just like a vibe. You check? So one day pressure like, hey, yeah, he's mine now. Like, when I traveling and I get extra tickets to travel, like, he coming with me.
Just so.
Because
And what you could say?
I can't say nothing. Ain't nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I happy for him.
Of course.
That's the opportunity.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So sometimes even when pressure and recording, he can't like one where you is because he's just a vibe and he like to walk.
Yeah.
And pressure like to walk. The pressure was, if you just come in around and you walking in, be like, hard work, you got to walk.
Yeah.
So that's my number one thing. Once you walk in, you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Anything you do, if you're a brick mason and you start laying bricks for the first time, but you only laying bricks once a year, you're not gonna be better than the dude who laying bricks every day.
Consistently, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could get better than anybody. Your vocals could get better than Beyonce on if you work on it every day. You can't sit down and be like, well, I can't never sing like her. You can't.
Exactly.
It's just training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people ban not having to work on their vocals, but Beyonce had to work on something that you probably don't have. She's shy. You're not shy.
Exactly.
So she got to work on being personable. You don't have to work on being personable. She don't have to work on her vocals. You got to work on your vocals. So you got to identify what it is you need to work on.
Yeah.
And once you walk in, then I going to follow. Because at the end of the day, I work for you and use the leader. This is your brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't be working harder
than you.
Yeah. So that's the number one quality. Once I figure out that you like to work, I'm going to always take you up. People will be like, oh, me take up so much people. Well, that's my father. You know what I mean? My father always had people around him, always teaching, always.
But how does that affect you? As far as you, can you just explain that managing is personalities? You pretty much a life manager.
So
there's only one Red Man. But if you get 7, 8 artists that you managing and all of these man pulling so much different things from you and pulling you in so many different directions, how does that affect you personally?
My relationship's going to suffer. My personal life's going to suffer. Because I have to, you happy. I just get off the phone with you. I happy. Next artist card, he sad. I just went from being happy to sad. Next artist card, he angry. I went from being sad to angry. Next artist card, he win. I get excited. I start this car, I losing. I am unexcited. So I got to take on all of these personalities and I got to manage them within myself. But then I have my own life and what I got going on. My girl might call me and I might be just in a mad mood. She in a mad mood. No, I aggressive. You know what I mean? Because I just take on an energy.
Or your cousin might call you.
Or my cousin might call me. Like, you know what I mean? Any you know what I mean? So it's like I have to take on, and that's something that I gotta fix. You know what I mean? I gotta learn how to balance.
Like, how do you balance out?
Man, it's time and repetition.
Because you ain't good to none of these, man, if you ain't good to yourself.
Look, I went through my stages in my career of managing. I've already went through depression. Like feel like I wasn't gonna be successful. Feel like success ain't coming fast enough. Money ain't coming in fast enough. Am I making the right decision? I just happen to have good people around me. You know what I mean? People them that love you, your friends, your family. You know what I mean? To pick you up off of the ground. Yeah. Like kind of remind you how great you is. Yeah. Because I always never thinking I great, you know. I feel people have this misconception that I just think I just shit. But in my mind, I just think like I never reach where I could reach. You know what I'm saying? So taking all of these paws, and that's why I get frustrated when the money ain't pushing as hard as I think they should. Because my success is tethered to you. And I need you to work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough task.
It's not like a lot.
It's a lot.
It's not like a lot, like, because it's like you said, they ain't babies, but everybody have their own individual personality. Like for me now, I have a bunch of different clients when it comes to my credit repair and my financial literacy. A bunch of them that come with different questions. Some of them that come with, yo, how come me ain't done yet? What going on? To the point where
that's crazy because you'd be asking me, how come me start yet?
so don't even make me start at go back there, because he has some unfinished business and I go ring this dude next. But yeah, so it'll be to a place where I don't teach. I don't just repair your credit. I teach you at the same point in time. So therefore, the questions that you have, you can answer them yourself.
Right.
So the people that ain't asking me questions, I know they get it because I taught them and they learn. So the ones that come to me and say, why this ain't happening, that shows me that you're not doing your part as far as learning what it is I giving you for you to learn, right? So does that happen in your space where you get artists feel like this thing ain't happening fast enough and it's your fault? Because I hire you to take me to the promised land and you ain't take me there yet, so it's your fault.
In closing, right? I'll leave you with this. My management philosophy to every artist that come in contact with me is I'm trying to get you ready for the next level. Somebody else might come along who know more than me that could get you farther than me. So while I here managing you, I am teaching you, I'm preparing you, and understanding this business. So should you ever leave me, nobody could trick you. Yeah. So I always teaching. Like I want you to know the business. I don't want to trick you out your money. When I got business deal going on, I'm calling you and I'm telling you exactly how I'm going about it and why I'm going about it. Should I fall along dead? Should you get new management? You understand what the business is like. You know what I mean? So at a bare minimum, I here to educate. And that's how I end up being most people manager. Did I call and ask me questions and then I educate. And then I'll be like, man, you should just be my manager. And I don't know how to say no. You know what I mean? Because even if I don't be your manager, my line always open for you to call me and ask me whatever you want to ask me.
It's gonna be an official title.
Yeah, it just ain't gonna be an official title.
Yeah, I feel. There you have it, folks. Real impactful interview. Imagine I interview my co-host just now. I felt like I interview. But
what he that do?
I don't do
nothing.
I don't do everything.
Interview him.
I don't do everything. What else good? Everything. So really and truly, this was really impactful. We learned a lot about what you do, the intricacy, a lot of the things about what you carry, and it was really, really impactful. I feel like it was a really good interview. Where the people could follow you, where they could find you, how they could reach out to you.
On Facebook is Redman. If you see the other Redman, just point Redman 340. Instagram is Redman_340. We have our business page, which is Gang Night Management Co. on Facebook and on Instagram. You can hit up June at I don't even know what June Instagram means. I think it's June
Rebel Gang,
something like that.
And that's his business partner.
I get his number. So I don't know why I need to know your Instagram.
You get a bunch of red man online. Let's look for the ugliest one, and you're gonna
I
find
ain't
it.
what the last girl say.
That what the last
Nope. So, but that's somebody you can find me, man.
But yeah,
Facts.
guys, this was really good. Keeping this thing rolling. Caribbean Currency Podcast. That's the end of this interview. See you on the next one.
Peace.